Hey, this is Dr. C. Hope you're having a good day today. Nice to have you come on with us here. Let's talk today about the face. I haven't talked about the facial muscles in a while now. So I think it's time that kind of update a lot of the exercises for your face. Now, why? Why? Facial products are a huge billion-dollar industry in the United States. Billion, with a B, billion-dollar industry. Loads of different things put into all these preparations for the face. So, what are the important ones? What are the ones that have been proven to be of value for your face? Certainly, exercises are of value, but they take time. They take time. You got these things that are almost instant now with the ads that they run. Let's talk a little bit about what are actually proven with the facial products right now. So, first off, to clean your face, facial cleansers. Well, there are some good facial cleansers out there. They're mild, they're sensitive to the skin on the face. Also, there are some that have exfoliatives in them. In other words, they're a little more abrasive. They remove a lot of the junk that may be dead cells or whatever on the skin. Now, that's probably good for people who have dry skin, because you got all different kinds of skin. You have dry skin, you have oily skin, in between. Plus, things change all the time. When it's hot, you're sweating, it's a little oilier. And when it's cold, you got the heat up, it's dry. So, things change all the time for the face. So what are the important things that you need? Well, first of all, retinol. Now, retinol you can get over the counter. You can also get the stronger retinol, like the tretinoin, for example, which is a vitamin A derivative as well. So is the retinol. It's a vitamin A derivative. But has been shown to improve moisture, has been shown to improve the amount of collagen that has been lost under the skin. This is especially important as we age and we lose collagen and elastin under our skin. And so, retinol, that's the first ingredient you look for, retinol. You also, nowadays, should have at least an SPF 30, in other words, protection from the UV rays. Some of the worst sunburns I've ever had no active visible sun. It was all filtered with the clouds and all, but by God, I got the sunburn anyway. So you need to have that at least SPF 30, minimum, in that facial preparation. What else is important? A moisturizer. Now, I've mentioned before to people that you should at least have hyaluronic acid in your preparation. They use other types of moisturizers as well. Now, a moisturizer isn't necessarily something that is going to put more fluid under the skin. There are moisturizers that do that, but they're also just the opposite. It's an oil base, and it seals the skin, keeps the moisture in. So there are all those different preparations that are out there, because you never know from day to day sometimes what the weather is going to be, what the skin is like. So you try to keep abreast of both of those moisturizers. Finally, you need some antioxidants. And generally they use either vitamin C or vitamin E. Now, the vitamin E is an oil base. The vitamin C is a water base. But they both act as antioxidants on the skin. The latest thing that are putting into these preparations are the omega-3 fatty acids, obviously an oil base, and so that does help with the moisture, and it is a great anti-inflammatory preparation as well. So people who have, say, psoriasis or have acne or other irritative skin lesions based really with inflammation, active inflammation in the skin, you might want to consider having one that has a lot of the antioxidants in it. Now, there are many other things that are put into these facial preparations and all. Some of them are good, like, for example, human growth hormone. If you're really wrinkled up and you want to get something that will help to build some of the collagen in the skin, you would probably consider a preparation that has human growth hormone in it, or one that has other peptides, in other words, amino acids, that can build up a lot of the collagen and elastin again. So those are things that you would consider. So at any rate, there's a lot of stuff out there. Just focus on what you need and get a good preparation. Doesn't have to necessarily be expensive, just a good preparation. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit now about exercising your face. And I usually will start at the top and work down. You need to be comfortable. You need to have a nice ambient temperature, not below 68, not above 75. Nice ambient temperature, you're comfortable, you're relaxed. You need a mirror. You need to actually see what you're doing. So, with those in mind, I like to do my exercises mostly in the morning after I shower, for example, because a lot of times you should do them twice a day, and in the evening. So twice a day, do your facial exercises. You need to have an organized pattern. You start at the top, work your way down. Now, what do we do to exercise? The face has 42 muscles in it, 42. Some of them are skeletal muscles. Now, skeletal muscles are the ones like are in the arms, the legs, the belly, and all. Those you can exercise. You can stretch and then strengthen. Stretch and then strengthen. Of course, anytime you do an exercise, you got to do a warm-up. So you need to do a warm-up on these muscles, these 42 muscles, as well. Now, you may have a particular goal in mind, and keep your goal, but try to exercise all the muscles in the face. I tell people, you go to physical therapy, they got a particular thing that is hurting you, and so they exercise that, push you and all. But what about the rest of the body? As this strengthens and gets better, you may weaken a lot of other muscles in the body. So I like a good generalized exercise program for the face. So let's start at the top and work our way down. We'll start with the forehead. Now I'm going to take these off because I can't really show you that well when I have my glasses on. We tend to wrinkle a lot. We wrinkle. And we wrinkle a lot in the horizontal, and we also wrinkle in the middle, right here. This place here is called the glabella, and there's an actual muscle, procerus muscle, underneath the skin, which goes in a vertical direction. You need to do both. You need to stretch. Well, first of all, warm up, stretch, and then strengthen. How do we warm up our forehead? You use what they call the piano technique. In other words, You're going to play the piano on your forehead. Play the piano. Now, what the heck does this typing or playing with your skin and all, what does that do? Well, every time you tap it, every time you tap, you are going to gradually increase the blood flow to that region. Now, this is just the forehead that we're doing. We're just warming up that forehead. Make sure your hands are nice and warm. Warm them up if you have to, and then you tap. Now, another way to do it is massaging. Now, you can massage with your fingertips, putting the fingertips in the middle and going to the sides. Fingers in the middle, going to the sides. One more time. Fingers in the middle, going to the sides. You can also use your knuckles right in the middle and go to the sides. Myself, I prefer the fingers, but you can use your knuckles and go over to the sides. Now that's warmed up that forehead. So after you warm it up, you then stretch it. How do you stretch it? You put a hand on the top, right at the hairline. Obviously, my hairline is way the heck back here. Some people have a nice small forehead. No, I envy them with their hair. But I put it up at the hairline. Now, what I'm going to do with that hand forcefully, I'm going to pull back and close my eyes. Notice how that smooths out all of the muscle, the frontalis muscle, and relax. Pull it up, close your eyes, and back. One more. Pull it up, close your eyes, and back. So now you should do that at least 10 times, aiming for 20 times eventually. So that's stretching that muscle. Now, we want to then exercise the muscle. How do we strengthen it? Well, you do just the opposite. You raise your eyebrows. Raise your eyebrows. Raise your eyebrows. You notice how that helps to strengthen that muscle in there. What about that? Those are all for those horizontal wrinkles. What do you do for the frown lines? Those vertical lines here. Those are called the stress wrinkles. Okay? What can we do there? We take our two fingers, put it on the inside part of the eyebrow, right on the inside part. You're going to pull it apart and raise. Pull them apart, raise. Pull them apart, raise. What that's doing now is that's stretching that procerus muscle that's right in the middle. You're not going to see any difference that same day or next day. You've got to do this every day, every morning, every evening. Do it every day. After about 4 to 6 weeks, you will begin to see an improvement. So it's not an instant cure. So that is forehead. Now, there's also muscles on the side here. They work on the ear. I don't know. There are some people I know who can totally control the muscles in the ear. I can't myself. I want to wiggle this ear. I can't do it. But there are people who can because they have activated that muscle or those muscles that go to the ear. What about the muscles now around the eye? About 10 of the muscles, 10 muscles, are around or attached to the eye. 10 muscles. Got to stretch and you got to strengthen those. First of all, we just warm it up all the way around, just like that. All the way around. And then stretch them. How do you stretch them? You open your eyes nice and wide. Stretch the muscles and relax. Stretch and relax. Stretch and relax. Now, how do we strengthen those muscles around the eye? Just the opposite, obviously. Closing, nice and tight, and relax. Closing, and relax. And then closing, and relax. Now, there's also other muscles around the eye. The eyelid, for example, has a very thin muscle layer on it, just under the skin. There are people who get what we call ptosis, P-T-O-S-I-S, ptosis. The eyelid comes over the pupil a little, so it actually cuts out a little bit of your vision, your visual field. When it goes over the pupil, it's time to get something done. But you can try to prevent that from happening by trying to strengthen that muscle in the upper eyelid. How do we do it? First of all, stretch it by closing, closing, closing. Now, you want to strengthen it. Gently close your eye, put your fingers over that eyelid. Now try to open. Try to open. And one more, try to open. You do that 10 times, you'll start to feel it in those eyelids. Now, some of the eyelid drooping and all is actually the eyebrow drooping down. Terrible what gravity does to us as we age. Nose gets a little longer, ears a little longer. I wish everything got a little longer, but we're not into that right now, right? So, could be that gravity having an effect on those eyebrows. How do we stretch the eyebrow? You're going to go over to the side and separate. Over to the side, separate. One more. Over to the side, separate. That stretches the eyebrow. Now, how do we strengthen it? You put your fingers right above the eyebrow itself and then try to open up. Try to open up as much as you can. Eyes wide open. And relax. Now over to the side of the eyes. We tend to get some wrinkles there. We take our index finger and our middle finger, put it one over, one under the eye. You're going to pull to the side, open up. One. That stretches it. Over to the side, open up. Two. Over to the side, open up. Three. So those will gradually diminish those wrinkles on the side of the eye as well. Now there's a good general exercise for the mid-face area. And I'll show you the actual pose. Because some of the muscles go to the nose, some go to the mouth, some go to the eyes. You can get all of them, all those central muscles, and you can do it with a big stretch. So what you're going to do for a stretch, you're going to make an O. You're going to bring your nose up. And at the same time, you're going to have your hand on your forehead, and as you go with your mouth, your nose, you pull up. I know that looks funny, but that's what you do for the mid-face area. So you're stretching all those muscles. By flaring the nasal muscles, you're actually doing a little stretch on the muscles going to the nose as well. And of course, the mouth, by simply going oh, you're stretching those muscles as well. What about the muscles on the side of the face now? First of all, over the cheekbones. What can we do with the cheekbones? Again, use your two fingers on either side of the cheekbone. One on the top, one on the bottom. And over and separate. Over, separate. Over, separate. That's stretching those muscles. Once they're stretched, now you want to strengthen them. And you want to try to counteract the effects of gravity. How do we do that? You take your index finger right along that nasal labial line. That line that comes obliquely down from the nose all the way down. You put your fingers on that and push it up. Push it up. Push it up. Now, if you can get all of your finger on it, you actually can create a little smile. That's the ideal push-up. What about the fluid that can accumulate under the eye? Well, fluid is not good. It is good, but not good under your skin like that. So what do you want to do? You get some little moisturizer with a little hyaluronic acid. You get your fingers underneath. First of all, to counteract gravity, you push the fluid up. Push it up. Push it up. Push it up. Once it's up, get rid of it. You need that moisturizer that makes that finger glide right along that whole area, just like that. That will help to get rid of that fluid accumulation. What about the old cheeks? Well, there are a couple of different stretches that you can do for the cheeks. Number one, you're going to put the other arm out 45 degrees. You're going to take the head, bring your hand over, and now you're going to point your chin up and out. You feel that stretch in the sternocleidomastoid muscle. You want to do the other side. That one goes out 45. Grab hold of the head. Lead with your chin up and out. Now, that's one stretch. Another stretch is simply blowing it out. Now, you can do it with air, or you can use your tongue. Either way, I like the air. Now, what do we do to strengthen those muscles? You do just the opposite. Instead of blowing it out, you do a fish mouth. What's a fish mouth? Another fish mouth. One more. Okay, that's the old fish mouth, and that does tighten up those muscles in the cheeks. What about jowls now? What are we going to do about them? We're going to take your fingers. First, you're going to do the pinching right along the edge of the jaw. Pinch, 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 pinch. Right along the edge of the jaw. All that is all jowl material. Now you can do the same with your lips as well. You can pinch. First of all, that's a gentle stretch, but you can also stretch your lips by taking the lips over the teeth. And hold it over the teeth. And hold it. One more, over the teeth. And hold it. Okay. What else can we do now? We can get a turkey neck. That's a jowl that's in the middle here. What do we do for a turkey neck? Well, you want to feel down there gently. Put your head back, leading again with your chin going up. Now, pronounce O-E-A, 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 or simply swallow. When you swallow, you feel that muscle tighten up. That's going to help get rid of that little turkey neck in there. So, we still have other areas of the neck to talk about, but we've already run out of our time, talked about the face too long. This is Dr. C. Remember, try to aim for 20 of them twice a day, all those exercises, and you will not be unhappy. Have a good day. Bye-bye.